Hello, all. Welcome back to my channel, The Tech Warriors. Hope everybody are doing good. So we are in day 7, and today's agenda in learning Excel functions would be these. We would be learning SUMIF, COUNTIF, AVERAGEIF, if and if or. Right? Excel is really awesome, guys. So let's quickly go to Excel and look at our use case and how to write these formulas manually in order to arrive the result. Yeah, let's quickly go to the Excel. So here we go. We are in the use case spreadsheet. So we have student data here where, I have taken the same example. So basically we are working on the same student data set. We have student name, marks 1, marks 2, and the result, right? So this is a use case. And we will learn each and every formula as per today's agendas, like in how to use this if and if for sum if average if and counter with this use case. Yeah. So let's quickly go and execute the formula for if and from here we will learn the other formulas as well as per today's agenda. Yeah. So what is this if and? I think in previous sessions, in case I think we have learned about if conditions, right? So say for example, if you want to arrive a condition result. So we were using a simple if condition. Say for example, in our previous example, we were having two numbers like 5 or 10. And if you want to find the highest between these two numbers, I think we have written a if condition, a simple if condition. Now, what is this if and? If and is nothing but we are validating two marks, right? We are validating two marks in this particular use case. So we have student name called James Walker. For the James Walker, we are trying to identify validating two conditions and both should be true. So say for example, if marks 1 is greater than 30 for James Walker and marks 2 is less than 11, the validation, both the conditions what we are giving is true, right? So it will result the value as true, or else it will result the value as false, right? Now we will write a function how to use this if and. So we have this if, we will be always starting with if, and the logical test would be and, right? So if we use this if and, it is asking us to provide the logical one, logical two. There are multiple logicals where we can just give, right? So now in this particular scenario, we will validate a condition where marks 1 and marks 2 condition both should be true, right? So now I'll just give this mark 1 as greater than 30, comma. I'll give marks 10 as greater than 10. If these both conditions are true, right, I need to get true result, else I need to get false result. Let me close this and see the result, right? So basically, if you look at this formula, we are validating a if condition of two criteria. One is the marks 1 of student named James Walker should be greater than 30 and marks 2 should be greater than 10. If these both conditions are true, we will get a true result, else we'll get a false result, right? We'll press enter. Now, let me just fill this down. Now, if you look at the result, what we have written, right? If you look at this, I think the result what you have got is false. The reason just because the marks 1 is greater than 30. Yes, it is taken, that condition is true, but seat is not greater than 10. It is just 10, right? Hence, it has taken false value. When if you look at the true values here, the marks 1 for Velma Clemons is greater than 30, right? And marks 2 also it's greater than 10. That is the reason we have reduced the values to, it is written the values true. And so on for the other employees, other students as well. Okay. So this is the way we use if and conditions. So our conditions, both of the conditions should be true, right? Now, what is if for? if or is nothing but one of the conditions should be true. Either, so say for example, if you're giving a condition marks 1 is greater than 30 and marks 2 is equal to 10. So this equal to 10, or we can say that marks 2 is greater than 10. If you give that value, one of the condition is true, right? So if one of the condition is true, it will result as true value, or else it will result as the first false value. Now let's quickly write the formula. If similar, we'll just open or if my marks 1 is greater than 30, comma, if my marks 2, we will say greater than, I'm sorry, less than 9, right? So just give me value as true, else you give me the value as false. Now, if you look at the formula here, it has resulted us with a true value. So the condition what we are given is, we are just checking or any one of the conditions should be true, right? So if the B2 value is greater than 30, it has resulted as true, wherein C2 is less than 9. No, it is not less than 9, but one of the condition is true. So that is the reason we have got the value as true. Wherein if you go and check this formula as false, we will look at this result as false value. B5 value is not greater than 30, and also C5 is not less than 9. So both the conditions are not true. Mean to say, one of the conditions is not true. That is the reason we have got the result as false, right? So the difference between and, if and if or is, in if and when we are writing a formula, the both of the conditions what we are giving should be true. Wherein and if or any one of the condition what we are giving, it should be true. So we get the right return values. So this is about if conditions. Now let's move on to SUMIF. What is the SUMIF, average if, and COUNTIF? Let's start with SUMIF. SUMIF, we learned about in our initial demo. We learned about how to do a sum of marks of each and every student. Now assume that we have duplicate values of students, duplicate student names, where we need to identify marks 1. So in this particular example, what I've taken is the criteria. What I'm taking is in the column A, I have student name James Walker is repeated twice, and Kibo Underwood is repeated twice. Right now, for the James Walker, I need to calculate the marks 1 what is obtained. Basically, I have the duplicates here. In this case, I cannot write a simple sum formula. We need to write a criteria and sum it. Right now, we have taken the criteria called as, if the name is equal to James Walker, how do we get the sum values, right? So we will just see how to write the formula. So we have equal to, we have sum of formula, right? Range, what is my range? My range is my student name, right? What is my criteria? Criteria is for the student where we are trying to do a sum of his marks. So in this, I have duplicate all as James Walker. I'll write student name as James Walker and sum range. So in this particular scenario, we need to sum James Walker marks 1. So we will take this range and we will close this. If you look at this, for James Walker, the marks what is obtained is 31, and here we have James Walker as 32. If you just do the sum this, we have got 63 as count. So that is the value which has been returned here, right? So the criteria here is, we need to first select the range and give a criteria as whom are we finding the value, and for which column are we doing a sum range. That is something which I have given as marks 1. If you look at the formula here, this is one of the examples. Now let's look into some of the formula. I mean to say some of second example. Assume that we need to identify the result as pass where we need to sum marks to values. We need to say, what is my overall sum of all my pass marks? We should identify. Now, if you look at this pass, okay, let me just select this, right? We have got the values 202 only for the pass values. So how do we write the sum of? So we will write sum if, what is my range? My range is this, right? Comma. What am I trying to find? My criteria is pass. And what is my sum range? I need to give the sum range, right? If you look at this, where we have just seen the pass values here, what I got is 202, where we have got the results, right? So this is the different examples how we can use sum of, right? So let's quickly go to average if, how we can use this average if, right? So now for average if it is same formula, we very well know that what is an average. We get an aggregate result, right? So now let's look into the average. Same, we will be writing average if, same range. Then that this is criteria, we will take Kibo Underwood, right? We will take Kibo Underwood. I want this student average of his marks to range, and right? It is same as sum of formula. Okay, the range what we are selecting, the criteria what we are selecting, and the sum range what we average range what we are selecting, it is same criteria, right? Now, if you look at this Kibo Underwood marks 2, right? We have selected C2 is to C3 and Kibo Underwood here. We have got the average is 37.5, right? So which is overall of 38. So basically, I've given a round here. So I've got the result as 38. So for the James Walker, I mean to say for the Kibo Underwood, where is marks 2 of 45 and 30, the average, if you want to get the average, this is the way we write average formula. Now let's go to COUNTIF. So in our initial demo, I think we learned about count. So basically it will give the count value. I mean to say the number of the student list. I think we have checked in the initial demo. Now let's see what is this COUNTIF, how we can give this COUNTIF criteria, right? So we will write COUNTIF formula. What is my range? I will select the range as this result, okay? And we will just see how many passes we have in this particular column T. So the criteria is pass, okay? PSS, double quotes close. So what is my count here? If I just filter this result as only pass, if you look at the count, it is 6, where we have got the count of this pass. The similar way, if you want to want to get the count, I mean fail count, what we can do is, and just type this as fail. We can see the value. We will just filter only fail. Let's give a 6 count, where we have got the values here, right? So these are the multiple, array functions. So we call all these as array functions in order to get our results based upon the use case what we have discussed today. So I hope you guys have really liked this video. Please do watch this video fully, so we will understand from the beginning until end of the use case what we have derived today. Please do subscribe my channel, and subscription to my channel, it really motivates me. As I just keep on telling you that this is like basic formulas what we are learning, but how to convert this to VBA code to automate the repetitive task is something where we will be exploring in upcoming videos. Hence, I would really request you to please like this video, share the video to your friends, colleagues, watch the full video completely, subscribe my channel and please hit on the bell icon in order to get all the notifications of the videos what I'm creating. I hope on the upcoming days, I will be getting now new Excel functions which we'll be learning. I will try to explore now different advanced Excel formulas on my upcoming videos. So stay tuned to my videos and you guys have a very great day. Bye-bye.